Hello, my friends, and welcome to Italy, a place to love YouTube channel, the channel where I like to show the properties for sale in the Italian market. In each video, I select a property in a different town in one of the 20 beautiful regions of Italy. Alright, my friends, so in today's video, I bring you to Apulia region. I bring you back to Apulia region because it has been a while that I haven't made videos about properties for sale in this beautiful region. So, following yesterday's video about the cheapest properties for sale in Lecce province, so today, as Saturday, I'm showing you a property that I found in my yesterday's search. So basically, we are in Apulia region, Lecce province, in a town called Matino. Lovely town, very close to the sea, not far from Lecce, so beautiful area. Salento, we are in Salento area, one of the most wanted touristic destinations. All right, so let's talk about the property. Detached house for sale in Via degli Eroi. They don't disclose the number. Anyway, it's a terraced house, it's a townhouse, as we see. We are talking about 29,000 euros. So the price is extremely low for this area. Obviously, and what else? 110 square meters. So we are around 1,200 square feet, 4 rooms, and the house is on 2 levels. Anyway, we are talking about ground floor and first floor. Now, by the size, by the price, obviously the house might be in need of some renovation works. But so let's go, before I show you the property, let's go on Google Maps, simply to show you where the property is. And so, as I said, we are in the southern part of Apulia, which is Lecce province, in this area called Salento. Now, as we see, we are not very far from Lecce, so I will show you later on the main distances, the distances to the main location, to the main destinations around this town. But anyway, mainly we are close to a big town like Gallipoli here, and we are very, very close to the sea. So we are talking about short distance from the sea. Then let's go 3D. And anyway, as we see, anyway, we are not in a very small town. We are in Matino. Then we are also close to Casarano, Tuglie, and Parabita. So basically there are these two municipalities which are kind of connected, which are very close. One is Matino, this one here, and the other one is Parabita. Now here we find all type of services that we might need, all right, grocery shop and so on, everything, because anyway we are talking about quite big town, under 20,000 inhabitants, but anyway, interesting place, interesting area. Okay, then we have restaurant, bars, all type of services that we might need. All right, then railway, okay, arrives to Gallipoli. We have railway in Gallipoli, but obviously from Gallipoli we can easily commute by bus from Gallipoli to Matino, Casarano, Matino, Alezio, and so on. All right, let's go back here to Idealista simply to show you the search that I've done for yesterday's video about the cheapest properties for sale in Lecce province, inexpensive. So you will find the link of yesterday's video under the description, but you will also find this search directly if you want to investigate yourself these 121 houses for sale that I found under certain selected filters, like under 60,000 euros and so on. So here you can find, and you will find these two links, yesterday's video and this search, under the description of the video, if you are curious to see all these 121 houses that I found for sale. Okay, let's go back to the property here. And first of all, let me tell you, so if you like this type of contents, if you like my videos, please put like and subscribe. It's highly appreciated and it helps my channel to grow. Okay, so recap. Apulia region, Lecce province, Salento, Matino, 29,000 euro, 110 square meters. Let's read the description. Matino, Compro Casa Property Solution, now is an agency, Compro Casa Property Solution, offers for sale a detached house on 2 levels. On the ground floor, we find a dining room with a fireplace. The first floor, on the other hand, consists of a large bedroom, a living room, a kitchen, and bathroom. The property is completed by the sun terrace with a panoramic view. Now, for me, in my opinion, this property is mainly worth for the sun terrace with an amazing panoramic view. Now, we may even see the seaside. Now, we are around 20 kilometers from the sea, but anyway, there's a beautiful panoramic view, which for me, it's worth at least the amount of money we are paying for this property. Obviously, the property is partially in need of renovation, but anyway, we'll see by when we're gonna have a look at the pictures in a minute. We'll see what needs to be done, what needs to be improved. Detached house, 110 square meters built, 1200 square feet, 4 rooms, 1 bathroom, terrace, good condition. I think the property doesn't have an heating system. All right, then we have air conditioning. Let's have just a quick look at the price per square meter. Now, in this area, to find a property which is under 300 euro per square meter is extremely hard. But anyway, even for properties that are in need of renovation, we might range between 500, 600 euro per square meter, even for properties that are fully in need of renovation. Because anyway, there's high demand in this area. Okay, finally, let's go to the pictures of the property. Now, here we have the picture from the street, which I will try later on to find on Google Street View. We'll see if we are able to find it on Google Street View. So we see two entrances, all right. This one for the ground floor and this one that is leading to the first floor. All right, then here we have the first floor. Obviously, the facade, the exterior part, anyway, is not 100%. Maybe, I think it just needs to be painted. But we have an exterior light, blinds, let's say, the doors. They're not in a very bad condition, but obviously, if someone wants to buy this house and wants to bring this house anyway to a very good level, anyway, I would recommend, for example, to have a look and simply to decide what to keep, what to change. Obviously, there is a project here. First of all, now here we are on the ground floor. On the ground floor, we have a separate entrance, all right, where they say there's just one room with a small kitchen and a fireplace. So basically, here we have the fireplace, all right. What else? I think here they have a small bathroom. They have a service bathroom. They are not showing the pictures of this area here, but for example, in case of renovation, and here there's a bathroom, for sure I would create a second bathroom, a service bathroom on the ground floor, all right. Then obviously we have these tiles on the wall. We can see that the house is a bit, anyway, the floor tiles looks like they're not very, very old, but they have their years. They have, let's say, a good amount of years. Obviously, here it's up to the buyer to decide what level of renovation would like to do. Obviously, here the budget for a renovation, for a very good renovation for a house like this, could go between 50 and 100,000 euro. Then, obviously, it's always possible to compromise, to keep the floor. Now, we said, for example, the house doesn't have an heating system. But if this house is used only in the summer as a holiday home, there's no need to go for a heating system at all, for example. Then there is always the chance to not make a gas boiler heating system, but to go for electric with air conditioner as inverters, with solar panels. So that could provide you heat, then also electric heat. Then here we have a fireplace. This could be, for example, a thermal fireplace. Anyway, we see that the property is connected with a staircase internally, that are leading to the first floor. We have two separate entrances, but the house is commuted internally by these few steps at the bottom on the right, where my picture is, anyway. And then we have the stairs leading to the first floor. Anyway, here what I don't like are these tiles on the floor. I could compromise with the floor tiles, but obviously it needs to be repainted, details, you know. Then here we are on the first floor. Okay, so we are already in the part of the house where there is kitchen, living area, and bedroom. All right. Then we have a long corridor here. We have quite long corridor. We are just off the stairs now. All right, and here we are in the bedroom. Now we can see a quite big bedroom, decent sized bedroom. All right. Overall, the structure of the house, the good thing of this property is that the structure of the house is in a good condition. So there's no need to, anyway, nothing related with the structure. Also, I don't see signs of humidity or mold in this room. The floor tiles are a bit old, in this typical old style of the 60s, early 70s. But anyway, we have a quite spacious bedroom. Here, probably, let me see, this column here probably has the chimney from, let's go here. On the left, we see that there is this part popping out from the wall. Probably this is where the chimney of the fireplace of the ground floor, on the ground floor, is going through the roof. So this might also give some heat. Then we have air conditioner here in the bedroom. Electrical system is not very old. So anyway, for me here we have for 29,000 two-floor house, and up to now I'd say yes, I see works to do. Basically, obviously, if you're dreaming of a beautiful house, first of all, remove all the furniture and then visualize the property. Okay, here we are in the living area, dining room, let's say. Okay, which is empty, without furniture. All right. Obviously, we have always the same type of tiles. Then, again, it's up to hypothetical buyer, to change everything. That's another story. Okay, anyway, we have quite high ceilings. This is always this living area, all right, which anyway has this door leading to the corridor. Then we have this door probably connecting to the bedroom, all right, so we can also enter from the bedroom, from the living area, then from the corridor. And on the left, we should find the kitchen area. Yeah, so basically here we are still in the living area. Quite spacious room as well. So bright enough because anyway, we get the light from the corridor and also from the bedroom. All right. So as we see anyway, they took the pictures. Even if this room doesn't have windows, we have lights off, and overall the room is bright. So I don't see big problems with light in this room. Then here we have a kind of good sized bathroom, always on the same floor, obviously a bit old, probably again a bathroom built 40 years ago, maybe tiny bit less, but not with very expensive material. Again, why can give a bit of credit to the electrical system, which doesn't look very old. Obviously, the bathroom should be upgraded. But again, if someone wants, there are two options. Or you go, you spend this amount of money, you just do a very good cleaning, painting, fixing few little things, and keeping everything as it is, as a holiday home, which I would recommend. And then in the future, if we want, we may plan to improve the house to very high standards. Then, because it depends also on the market, on the construction prices. So all these things are affecting the renovation works. Or someone who would like to buy this property and just simply go for a full renovation project. Okay. And here we are in the kitchen. So here we are in the kitchen area. Obviously here is empty, but anyway, interesting space. So we have the corridor and we have 3 rooms in a row. Then we have also the kitchen on the ground floor with that little service bathroom. So the 2 floors are internally connected. Here we have the view of the corridor towards the stairs, which are leading to the ground floor where the main entrance is, with this bright window here in the corridor. Again, for 29,000 euro. All right, my friends, here we have a room in a row state, which I guess they don't say on which floor it is, but for me it's not on the ground floor, this property, because I see by the window. For me, we are already on the terrace level, so we are on the second floor. So we have the ground floor, the first floor where the house developed, and then we have the second floor with the terrace, with the panoramic terrace. And we are getting closer to the panoramic terrace. But anyway, here we have an extra space used as a storage room in a row state, in a row condition. Okay, then here we are landing to the second floor. Okay, so basically here on the left we should have the kitchen area. All right. Actually, this is the end of the corridor. This is probably the end of the corridor on the opposite side of the entrance door. So this is the rear side of the house. Anyway, it's an interesting, there's plenty of space in this house anyway. And here we have the amazing view from the terrace. So basically from here we can see for 4 kilometers away around the beautiful Salento area. Obviously from here we can see all Matino and the surrounding towns, but for sure we can also see in the seaside direction, which is probably on the left. Then Salento area is a quite flat area. Here could be installed solar panels. Then here probably there is this row stateroom that we saw in the center at the end of the terrace. Here we have, so we have plenty of very big terrace. Let's say now here I see the air conditioning. I want to go back. Here we also have the air conditioning. So I see plenty of potential on this terrace where to enjoy. We are quite high and also looks like nobody sees around. So because most of the houses are just one floor. Okay, yeah, we have a house here, but so basically this is the entrance to the terrace. So I'd say the house is quite well developed. I see an example on the top, on the roof, on the left here. On the left of the picture, there is a roof with solar panel and tank for the hot water, which is highly recommended to do in this area. All right, my friends, so these are all the pictures of the property. 29,000 euro. Let me know your opinion under the comment section. For me, in this area, to find a house similar size, fully renovated, we have to go over 100,000 euro in this area. All right, now let's go on Google Maps, simply to understand how far we are from the main locations around this town. So I would start, for example, from Lecce to see how far we are from Lecce, the capital of the province. So we reach Lecce in 42 minutes, okay, which is not a very big distance. And we are already in a big town, in a big city, the capital. Then from Matino, we are strategically close to all the seaside destinations in the lower Salento, where we have one of the most beautiful sea all over Italy. And then we have Gallipoli. Okay, let's have a look how far we are from Gallipoli. So to reach Gallipoli city center takes 22 minutes only. So basically I see there is railway here. So Gallipoli has a train station. We have an hospital. So in 22 minutes we are already close to the beautiful Gallipoli and also to the beautiful seaside here. For example, we have this area called Baia Verde, the Green Bay. Let's see how far we are from this area called Green Bay. 19 minutes. So in less than 20 minutes, then we might reach as well other locations here. But anyway, all the seaside destinations, Torre Suda, let's have a look just randomly to the most renowned seaside destination. Let's see how far, 25 minutes. So 25 minutes we are in Torre Suda. So basically here we have a regional park, Isola di Sant'Andrea. So it's a green area. All right, as a park, Spiaggia di Punta della Suna. So here we have lovely beaches, Punta Pizzo. Lovely area, my friends, lovely. Salento, anyway, one of the most wanted touristic destinations. Let's see how far we are to Santa Maria di Leuca and to Castro Marina. Let's see, Santa Maria di Leuca. 38 minutes and we reach the lower part of Apulia region. And then let's see Castro, just to see on the Adriatic coast how far we are. Castro. Okay, to reach Castro takes 40 minutes. Anyway, here on a daily basis, you can choose which beach, which seaside, which beach you want to, anyway, enjoy for all the sea lovers. Okay, now finally, let's go back to Via degli Eroi to do a bit of Google Street View to understand a bit this area. Okay, so here we are in Matino. Anyway, the area is flat and in this direction we have the seaside. Okay, then we have main routes, main roads, so we are not, and in particular, anyway, we are in a quite big town where we have all type of services. Okay, let's have a look. We have a fitness center with swimming pool just closed. Tennis, I see tennis, pitch, football pitch. So if you like sport, anyway, here we can enjoy walks. Via degli Eroi. Let's see if we can. I guess we should be able to find the property. But anyway, here we are to understand a bit this street. Okay, let's try to go one way. It's a lovely street here. Via degli Eroi. Okay, here we are already in another street, but as we see, we have lovely houses around. Again, not easy to find cheap properties in Salento. Let's see if keep going, if we're gonna find the property which is for sale. All right, here I see one house. We should recognize. Let's see. Okay, this is the house, and we have the sign here, vend. Actually, from here the property looks even better than the picture. Here the door looks in a much better condition, lovely, nice and clean. The facade as well doesn't show any major problems. Here they're doing some construction works. Someone is renovating a property. I have a contact that if someone is interested anyway to have construction works for a property in this area, can let me know under the comment section. So basically is in middle part of Apulia, so I'm talking about Bari area, but if someone is interested, this friend of mine does keys in hands renovation works from plumbing, electricians. I mean, he has a team, obviously, construction workers. Anyway, I see a property that is in a good condition from here. So here we have the ground floor, sunny. That's what is important. Then we have the lovely terrace. Here we have the bedroom, the window of the bedroom. This is the window in the corridor. Here we have the stairs going up to the first floor. Anyway, let me know, my friends, what you think about this property. All right, for sale. Here we have something used just as a garage beside probably farmers. Anyway, we have lovely houses around, lovely semi-detached house here. Yeah, the neighboring house, it looks just like a garage. But anyway, we have the lovely terrace here, which we can see is much higher than the other houses. All right, my friends, anyway, if you have watched up to now, please put like and subscribe. And let me know under the comment section what is your opinion about this property for sale for 29,000 euro here in Salento, Lecce Province, Apulia region. Bye!